Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. My name is Jordan. I'm a millennial investor, and if you haven't seen me before, my goal is to get to $1 million by the age of 40. And how I plan on doing that is investing in companies that I believe that are going to be successful for the long term while generating covered call slash options income. And one of my main goals in investing in these companies is to hold them for the long term and see that long term price appreciation. And one of the largest positions in my portfolio is Corsair Gaming. I currently own about $10,000 worth of the stock, 500 shares at $20.72 as of the last trading price. Now we're going to go over in this video everything that I know with Corsair Gaming and where I think it's going forward, because a lot has happened in the past year. There's a lot of uncertainty with this company, and I want to compare it to competitors and where I think the profitability metrics are going to look for Corsair Gaming moving forward. So if you're interested in investing in Corsair Gaming stock, ticker symbol CRSR, then this is the video for you, because I'll give you my estimates and where I think they're going. If you haven't got signed up down already, I've mentioned it in all my videos. M1 Finance is having a massive promotion where you can get $50 just for getting signed up. All you got to do is go down below in the description, check out the link that I have posted down below, which is right here on my mouse, and then get signed up and be number 125 to do so. We've had 124 people sign up so far. Every single one of them has absolutely loved it. It is free to use. There's no fees whatsoever. So go ahead and sign up. It helps support me and my channel in getting to this $1 million goal by the age of 40. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I own 500 shares of the company. It's my third out of number 4 largest positions. I'm really concentrated into 4 main companies, and Corsair Gaming has been hit hard over the past year. If we look over the last 6 months, this company is down roughly 32%. If we look over the last year, this company is down 51%, being cut in half, and is starting to get down towards its pre-IPO price. The IPO price was around $14, $15 a share, and today it sits at $20 and some change. Now, this doesn't tell us anything about the business, so how has Corsair's business been doing? Well, first off, before we jump into that, I want to just talk about the industry in general and look at the search trends for both gaming computer and gaming PC. We'll just look at these very briefly. Now, I just pulled up back from October, November of 2018, all the way to today, and you can see that the overall trends are higher today for these search trends than they were in 2018, 2019. Obviously, they're a little lower in 2020 compared to normal because we had the pandemic, because things were just out of control, right? Everybody was shut down. They were forced to buy computer equipment that they weren't previously required to buy, and Corsair Gaming got a big bump from that business. But you can see in 2018, kind of the midpoint was around the mid to low 20s, so around 25-ish. And then in 2019, it was a little bit higher. You can see that it was in the kind of mid-high 20s. Sometimes we're edged up towards the 30s. And then you can see here through late 2020, early 2021, it has kind of been around the 40s. So the overall search trends have still been higher. And looking at the peaks from the holiday seasons, in 2018, we hit a peak of 62. And then in 2019, we hit a peak of 71. Now, skipping 2020, like we said, because of the pandemic, the previous peak was 71 in terms of the search trends. Well, this year we hit a 75. So in terms of people searching gaming computer, it was higher than normal. The same thing goes for gaming PC. If you look at the peaks here, the peak in 2018 was a 52. The following year, in 2019, the peak reached a 49, so about the exact same. And then this year, it reached a 68, so higher than normal. And then you can see the average trend, once again, around the 20s, maybe low 30s. And now they're sitting on average about the mid 30s or so, maybe upwards of 40. Now you can see that overall people are searching computers more, but that doesn't tell us anything about the profitability and the revenue growth for Corsair Gaming, because this is just gaming PCs. This is just gaming computers. This doesn't tell us if people are buying Corsair products specifically, right? Now, overall, looking at the revenue, you can see that this was a revenue grower, and it massively had a big uproar up in 2020 due to the high demand that we spoke about, and since then, we've had 3 quarters in a row of negative revenue growth. And this leads me to where I think this company is moving forward in terms of its profitability. Now, analysts are projecting that next year, they're going to have $2 billion in revenue in 2022. They're going to finish out this year with 1.88, and they're projected to have 6.5% growth of $2 billion next year. Now, as far as the revenue growth goes, that's one thing that's a little bit troubling for me, and I have some tough time analyzing out. But I just want to go off the analyst estimates and go based off of $2 billion, because what's way more important on this story, I think, has less to do with the top line revenue growth and more to do with the bottom line margins. Because looking in profitability, 2020 was one of the first times this company was really profitable, and since then it has whittled away in their most recent quarter, only producing about $1 million in profit, which is not what you want from a multi-billion-dollar company companies such as this. Now, this leads me to the profit margins. Now, first off, let's take off profit margins and let's look at gross margins. If we take away these two and just look at the gross margins, this is what's important, because the gross margins just take cost of goods sold. What does it take them to make a computer? If it takes them $1,000 to make a computer, that's their cost of goods sold, then they are selling that computer right now for $1,250.91 based off of this gross margin, because that's 25.91% higher than their cost of goods sold. Now, if you look at profit margin, this is where things are a lot lower because you have to take in a lot of other factors like appreciation, amortization, taxes, all that good stuff. And so these numbers are always going to be lower. But overall, there's some issues that happened with shipping costs and things like that that made this profit margin look significantly lower. Now, looking back at gross margin, same thing. You can see that since the uptrend, since the peak in 2020, we had that one quarter that was significantly higher at 30%. But you can see the average for the peaks of 2020 was about 25, 26, 27%, right? And then since then, the last quarter before that, we were still seeing that in early 2021. But in the last quarter, that's when it downtrended. Now, this is expected to go back up. Now, if they were to get these gross margins back up to these 28, 27% numbers, I think that bodes well for the profitability of the company, because the profit margins, once these issues with shipping constraints and labor shortages and all these things go away, we could see these profit margins return to this little mean here, this little average of around 7, 8, 9%, right? So let's be conservative here and let's use this as a barometer for where this company could look at going forward. Like we said, they're using $2 billion in revenue, right? That's the estimate that we're going to use going into 2022. So let's take $2 billion in revenue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros. And then we multiply that times the profit margin as an example, right? So we can see that the average, once these issues go away, we believe that the profit margin, at least this is what I think, could easily be around 7%. Now you can see that these few quarters that I'm highlighting right here, when these issues with supply constraints and all these type of problems went away, that their profit margins were around 8, 8.5%. We're going to be conservative and we're going to use a 7%. So we're going to take 2 billion times 0.07, which gives a 7% representation of 2 billion in revenue, and that gives them a bottom line profit of $140 million. Now, right now, they have 92 million shares outstanding, right? So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 92 million, and that gives them an earnings per share in 2022 of about $1.50. We'll just go ahead and round that down. We'll be even more conservative. We'll say $1.50. Now, the question is, and this is where it's totally up to you. I beg the question, what does a company like Corsair, what should it be valued at, right? Should it be worth a 10 PE, a 15, a 30 PE? This is where it all comes up to you, what you think this company should be worth. So basically, in my eyes, what you should be doing for 2022 is taking what this company is expected to earn in terms of its earnings per share, at least what I think it could do easily, which is $1.50, and multiply that whatever its valuation should be. In my opinion, I think, based off of Corsair Gaming's metrics, based off of where their profitability is at, and their opportunity moving forward and their growth rates, I think it's fair that Corsair Gaming should probably trade somewhere between about a 16 to a 22 PE. We take 1.5 times 16, and that gives a representation of $24 a share. Now, if we give the high end, let's just say like a 22, all right? We take 1.5 times 22, and that's $33 a share. So the average of these, I'll just give the midpoint, 33 plus 24. You can see that the average that I would say that this company is expected to do is about a 28.5% price target where I'm looking at. So overall, this is just the current PE, and these numbers are expected to prove in 2023. Because if we pull up Seeking Alpha here and we go a step further, so we have Seeking Alpha pulled up, and let's see what this company is expected to do in the future, right? And if you look at the earnings per share estimates, it's pretty fair to what I have estimated, right? Out of the $1.50 estimates in 2022 that I gave, the analysts are expecting this company to do $1.56, so slightly better than what we used. I rounded down and did a little bit lower than that. Now, it's expected to get much better in 2023 up to $1.85, which represents an 18% improvement. So if you're taking this number as an example, right, of 28.5 as your your average barometer, you can go ahead and multiply that plus 18.5% if these analysts are right. Let's even be more conservative and let's just say plus 15%, right? That would mean that in 2023 this company would be worth about $32-ish a share. Now all these are estimates and this all is up to what the market and you want to determine what this company's value is. At the end of the day, the market prices companies for what they believe it's going to be worth in the future. So will Corsair Gaming in 2022, 2023 trade for a 15p? Will it trade for a 35p? That's up to the market to decide. But in the meantime, I'm placing my chips on this company. Like I said, I own 500 shares of them as of today's date, and it's one that I'm going to be holding for the long term. It's great for selling covered calls against them. I do that all the time, just like you can see right here. I have a $25 call out for May, and that is going to generate about $600 worth of income in the meantime. So no matter what happens, it's one that I'm going to be holding, generating some nice profits from. And no matter what happens, I'm going to be looking for opportunities, both positive and negative, with this company and seeing what is best to do with my money. Who knows? Maybe I'll hold it all of 2022, maybe even 2023. Maybe I'll move it into another holding. But either way, stay tuned and I'll let you guys know along the way. Like I said, if you didn't get signed up down below, 124 people have signed up so far. Be one number 125 to get that free $50 from them on finance. Other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. My name is Jordan. I'm a millennial investor. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.